I have going on today, very purpley with a nude lip. I really like it. I'm really happy with how it turned out. And I used the new MAC Rocky Horror Picture Show eye palette. It has 6 eyeshadows in it, and it is $44. You might still be able to get this. It just launched online on September 29th, and I purchased it that morning. And by the next day it was sold out, but it did just launch in stores on October 2nd, which is actually today. And the colors in it are beautiful, and I am very in love with them. Anyway, so this is the look I've got going on. I hope you guys like this, because I love it. And if you would like to see how to get this look, then please keep on watching. So again, already have my face done because today I am in quite the time crunch. I've got about an hour to get ready right now at this point, so I went ahead and did my face and my brows off camera. For my face, we'll start with that. I used my CoverGirl Outlast Stay Fabulous foundation. I have really been loving this foundation lately. I mean, I loved it before. And then I set my under eyes, per usual, with my Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder. Then I set the rest of my face with my Too Faced Cocoa Powder Foundation. And then I went ahead and contoured with my MAC Pro Sculpting Powder in the shade Sculpt. Moving on to brows, because I also did that. I wanted a softer look today, so I just used my Urban Decay Brow Box and ran the darker color about 2/3 of the way through the brow, and then kept the lighter shade through the front of the brow. And I used my Urban Decay Pixel Point eyeliner brush to do that. And then today, to set all of that in place, I used my, not Urban Decay, but Benefit Gimme Brow in the shade Light Medium. So I already primed my lids with the normal Urban Decay Primer Potion. And I'm not really sure what I want to do today, but I do know that I want to use this. Oh. This is the eyeshadow palette from the new Rocky Horror Picture Show collection that MAC just launched. So if you're wanting to get your hands on this stuff, I would do so, because pretty much all of this is already sold out online, and I am not really sure about stores because my local MAC counter is actually not getting this collection. That is why I purchased this online. I also wanted the lipstick in Frankenfurter, but that is sold out. Oh, Rocky. I love this movie. That is why I purchased this. Even if this had been like completely unwearable and horrible colors that I just would have never worn, I still would have bought this because I love the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and they also did the packaging on the inside of all the characters and everything. So yeah, before I ramble myself to death, let's get into this. So I'm gonna try to keep this wearable because I could go nuts with this and just blow it out of the park and make this completely unwearable. But I'm gonna take the shade Oh Rocky, which is kind of a periwinkle blue, purpley kind of color. It's really cool. It's got a really nice iridescence to it. And I'm going to place that all over the lid. Just on a stiff, flat brush. Oh yes, I like this color. It doesn't show up as blue or as pigmented, but when you move it back and forth, like in the light, you get this really cool, awesome looking iridescence. And it's awesome. I'm going to leave the inner corner blank for my inner corner highlight. Just like so. And I probably should have done this first. But I'm going to take, having a hard time here. Not you. Okay, this is the one I want. I'm going to take this Milani eyeshadow in the shade Bella Cappuccino and use it as my transition shade. Then for my brow bone only, I'm going to go into the Kat Von D palette, the Monarch palette, and use this kind of yellowy, buttery shade. I really, really love this color, and just need like a single of it. That would be awesome. And I'm also going to place this in that little area between the nose bridge and the tear duct, just to lighten it up. And since it is a yellow toned color, it does kind of do a little bit of concealing and taking away any dark circles. I do also sometimes pat this under my eyes. Then, just using the same brush I used to apply my highlight, I'm going to go into the shade Crystal, which is kind of a taupey white. I'm doing my best here. That's what it looks like. It's kind of a taupey cream white shade. I like it. I'm going to use this on my inner corner. And I'm going to take that on the tip of the brush and run that on the lower lash line a little bit. And if you can hear music, I do have music on in the background. You're not losing your mind. And then I'm going to take a little bit of that and place it just under the brow. Then for my actual crease color, I've decided to use the shade Blackberry, which is a matte blackberry shade. And just on a fluffy brush, I'm just gonna work that. So I'm just going to apply that into the crease. You can swap this for a different color if you are afraid to use like red toned colors, but this is coming off much more purple. It still is going to give you a slightly irritated look, but if you saw my grunge tutorial, I dig that look. So I'm just working that back and forth, bringing it down onto the outer corner of the lid. And I am blending this quite far up, pretty much almost completely covering that transition shade we laid down. I'm really digging this color. This is kind of like a first impressions, but I already know that I like MAC eyeshadow, so it's not really. And as you can see, I am bringing that all the way in to the inner corner as well. And I'm really, really buffing this out and smoking this out. Then just going back into that stiff shading brush we used and still sticking in Blackberry. Just going to run the tip of the brush in there. And then with a mirror, so I don't stab myself in the eye, I'm going to run that on the lower lash line, meeting up with that highlight color that we laid down, and kind of blending those two together so they have a nice gradient down there. I'm actually going to switch brushes because this is not doing what I want it to. So I'm going to switch to this brush from Crown Brush. This is a C476. Got it in an Ipsy bag and haven't stopped using it since. I am not kidding. And I'm just going to do the same thing and just run that in Blackberry. This brush is bigger, so it's going to bring it lower down on the lash line, but that's what I want. You can stick to a smaller brush if you would like to. Then to darken the outer V area a little bit, I'm going to go into this blue, which is called Heavy Black and Pendulous. I love that name. And just on my Real Techniques domed shadow brush, I'm just going to run the tip of the brush in that. And I'm just going to look straight ahead and pop that right here. And then bring it down around a little bit. Then going to go back with the same fluffy brush that I applied Blackberry with. Just going to buff that out and blend it and just so that area is a little bit darker and a little bit more smoky. Because if you've seen Rocky Horror Picture Show, smoky is the word. I'm going to pick up a little bit more of that Blackberry just to blend that out a little bit more. And then I'm going to take the opposite end of my C476 brush and also dip it into Heavy Black and Pendulous. And I'm going to run that on the outer corner of the lower lash line. Seriously, this look is all about blending. So I'm going to go in with this brush on the lower lash line and just blend that out. Make sure everything meets up on the top lash line as well. And there you go. Then because I feel like we've lost a little bit of the lid color through blending and I really want the lids to be light and open, I'm going to go back into Oh Rocky and my stiff flat brush and just place that, kind of keeping it centered. Just going over and blending around those areas where we've got darker colors. And then I'm just going to go in with a fluffy brush and very lightly blend the edges out, just like that. Then I'm also going to go in again and get the crystal color, and that's got, I'm just going to pack a little bit more of that on, because we probably lost a little bit of that color intensity as well. just to make sure that that's on there nice and good. Then for my eyeliner today, I'm going to go into this gray, which is Graphic Style. Yeah, and that is a Velux Pearl finish. So you could actually use this wet if you wanted to, but I'm going to use it dry because I don't really want intense. I want smoky and blown out. Anyway, MAC 263 liner brush. First, I'm going to start by pushing that into the roots of the lashes, just like I always do. I feel like this is a normal step for me. Okay, maybe I am going to use this wet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spritz my brush with some Fix Plus. Some, I mean a lot. And I'm just going to try to stick in one half of this shadow just to be safe. And then do the same thing I was doing. Maybe this was not the right color to be using as liner. And once I get to the outer corner, I am going to create a flick, or a wing, whatever you would like to call this. This doesn't have to be very precise because I am going to go back in and dry brush over top of this. So then, once I've got the liner applied on both eyes, pretty close to how I want it, I'm going to go in with this itty bitty tiny pencil-y kind of brush. This is from the Anastasia Mrezi palette, and you can just use whatever loosely packed pencil brush you have, or little tiny fluffy brush maybe. I'm just going to go into the dry side of the gray, I don't know what it's called. I'm just going to run that across what we've got going on for eyeliner, just to make it a little bit smoky and not so intense, but still when you're on that outside corner, maintaining that wing. This will just make it that little bit softer. So I did go in with Carbon and just kind of apply that to the very roots of the lashes. That's a matte black, but I didn't use this one because I've got a single right here that I need to use first. Yeah. So I did that. I just used a clean little angle brush. Nothing special. You can skip that step if you feel the need not to do it. Now on to mascara. I'm going to be using the Urban Decay Perversion Mascara yet again because it's my favorite. I don't have a MAC one, you know. Whatever. So then, because I just realized that I forgot to put any blush or any highlight on my face, I'm gonna do that. I'm using Mary Luminizer. It's normal. It's my favorite. Then for blush today, since the eyes are quite the focus of the look, we'll go with that. I'm going to use NARS Orgasm Blush. I haven't used this in a while, and I think it's pinky, and it's going to be subtle enough to where it's not like, BAM! You've got a lot of blush on. So we're just going to, doing it that way, it might not be so subtle. Then, for lips, finally, I'm going to start with MAC's Subculture Lip Liner, and I'm going to fill in my whole lip with this dealio, if I can. Then for lipstick, I'm going to use this shade here from MAC. This is a quite MAC-heavy tutorial. Didn't mean it to be, it just kind of ended up that way. Sorry. This is from the Parenza Schuler collection. This is what it looks like put together. Fancy. And this is in the shade Wood Rose. You might still be able to get this online, but it's highly unlikely. MAC might have similar colors to this. You might be able to actually find a similar color to this. It's not super unique, but I think it is one of the most beautiful lipsticks I own. So yeah. So that is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!